This has nothing to do with anything. This is just amazing. And if you have if you have pain of any kind, get Kramer Red Hot Ointment. That was not a paid placement. That was just, I just needed to tell you about that. This stuff is off the hook. Okay, live, the Dolphins cry. For Brent Mason, Minnie Chans, who worries he's being a pain. You're not, sir. Thank you for the request. And Lorenzo, name begins with a W, don't dare pronounce it. And special thanks to UmaFan, Josh, newest Patreon supporter of the Cause Club member. If you'd like to see what that's about, the link, of course, will be in the description. And Josh, did you get my email with your video? Because I looked at your video that I made for you, and it didn't have any views. So anyways, there's an email from me in your inbox, only for Josh. And let's do the Dolphins cry. All right, no problem. Detune your guitar. All the strings go down 1/2 step, so you'll have, instead of Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. And then you play a C sharp minor. Get your bar chord fingers out. So A string 4th fret, that's the C sharp root note, right? A sharp, B, C, C sharp. And then you make an A minor shape with the rest of your fingers. You probably know this, but someone doesn't know this. So this is for you, that someone. So you got D6, G6, B5. And of course, okay. So C sharp minor. And then you just unbar, so you're left with just the open A and the open E string if you want. You could also just have the open A string and leave that E string on the 4th fret. That's great too. Do whichever one you think sounds better. This way, the way I think they do it. With the open E string, you have to be really in tune. Like that. And then E and a B. B, of course, is the major version of this bar chord on the 2nd fret. And then after so many times you hit an F sharp major, and it's a very live thing to do to leave the B string and the E string open on a chord where it doesn't necessarily belong for that really cool, ethereal, interesting sound. 2, 4, 4, 3, open, open. And that's it for the verse. So this 2 or 3 times, depending on if it's the first time, because the vocals start this one, right? Alright, the chorus is pretty simple. The progression of the chorus is C sharp minor, B, and F sharp. But that's not the way that at least one of the guitar players from live is playing it. You can play it that way. You can play it as power chords if you want to unfloof it. But I'd still leave the F sharp like that. But at least the stage right guitar player for live is playing C sharp octaves, and I had a feeling something was up, and it was. So A4, G6, and then you're gonna grab E7 and G6, but you gotta switch your fingers all around. So that G6 note, a C sharp note, stays that whole time, and just the root note, or the bass note rather, changes from C sharp to B. So that's neat. And then down to your F sharp, you can play with that E string going open. The bass does it, and of course hides whether or not the guitar does it, but I think it's fun, so that's the chorus. Let me do that with distortion so you're convinced. That's a neat noise. If you want to know, the lead guitar player is playing octaves in the verse. I'm back to the verse now. On the 7th fret of the baby E string, and then on the 12th fret. 3 times. Whoops, but not that other one. More time. And then 12th fret actual note up to 14. And when band lands on F sharp, you can play that B string 7th fret, or anywhere you can find the note that's this note. Oh, and in the chorus, lead guitar guy is going, you know what that D string 4th fret, which reminds me of the presidents of the United States of America, which reminds me that we have to do that band, and we haven't. I keep thinking of it, and then I don't do it. Which president's song do we want to do? Okay. Which brings us to the bridge, and the bridge is just E, B, A, F sharp. That's it. Yeah, and that's it. Hits a bunch of F sharps at the end of the second bridge. If you want to noodle, use the C sharp minor pentatonic scale in that noodly section. The second bridge, 9, 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9, 12. I suppose that would be a breakdown anyways. But yeah, a little conversation about this situation. We have 2 C sharp notes, so that's a root and a root, right? You couldn't say whether it's a C sharp minor or a C sharp major. It's neither, because it only has a root. But then when you switch to that B with that C sharp in it, you could say one of 2 things. You could say it's a C sharp 7. That's what it is, right? Because the note that's 2 frets below the root is the note that makes a chord a 7 chord. So you could call it C sharp 7 with a B in the bass. It's not that. You could also call it B plus whatever this is from our B major scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 2. Like a B add 9 with only a 1 and a 9. You could argue about that with your friends until you're blue in the face, and you and your friends would both be right. So there you go. The Dolphins Cry by Live for you folks and for you folks. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.